Today's video I'm actually really excited about because this is a viewer requested video with content supplied by a viewer. So it's just like, it's all the things that I enjoy. And this could potentially be the first episode or the first video in a series. And so what we're going to do, let me stop just blabbing because I hate when people do that. We are going to be I'm going to be reading to you an email that was sent to me very recently from a community member, from a viewer who is looking for some advice. And we're going to work together as best as we can to give this young person some advice. And I really want to emphasize the importance of compassion in this style of video and just this attempt to help someone. Like, we have all been through our own trials and tribulations, and we have no room to judge anyone but ourselves. We have no responsibility for anyone but really ourselves. And this person is a very young person. This is a 22-year-old young man. And so if you were once 22, you know that that is just a wild time. Like, your prefrontal cortex hasn't even fully developed. And so please, everyone, I ask that you help me help this individual, but that you do so with compassion and with, limited judgment, please. So we're gonna call this person Danny, and their love interest, their significant other, Catherine. Those are not their real names, but I'm not here to give out private information, and I'm not for that. And so our, let's say, protagonist is going to be Danny, and his sidekick, his significant other, is going to be Catherine. So let's go ahead and start reading. Hello, my name is Danny. I'm a viewer in the southern Arizona area, and despite being 22, I just got out of my first serious relationship of 6 months. Before meeting my black ex-girlfriend, Catherine, I didn't really know any black people or much about your challenges or culture. I fell in love though with her strong personality and beauty. Looking back on things, we always had trouble communicating. And watching your recent video, Strong Black Women, Weak White Men, was very insightful because she often said I didn't know how to talk to her or handle arguments. And there goes that word again that you all know I don't like, handle, but it is also a contextual thing. So let's keep going. So Danny says, this always caught me off guard as me and my parents run a profitable business and I deal with customers and employees all day while driving a truck, no less. I remember her struggling to help me understand and using the example that I need to, quote, put her in her place by saying things like, I got something for you when we get home, as she felt like she was leading the relationship. And Danny goes on to reveal that Catherine, his significant other, had been through a whole lot of trauma, including, SA and the big R word. Again, there is something within the black community and among many black women where there is just this desire to what, again, I see as wanting a parental figure and not wanting an equally yoked partner. I also want to add that I think this is especially true when you have someone who has been through some form of trauma, especially in childhood or in very young adulthood, when they did not have someone to protect them, right? They didn't have that father figure to be there to protect them, to serve the role of the protector and prevent them from experiencing a traumatic situation. So I also think that exacerbates this type of behavior and this desire for this treatment from one's partner. I don't want my partner to put me in my place. Like, I'm an adult, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, how can another adult put someone in their place? You know what I mean? Like, there's no positive connotation to that either. Like, again, it just, when I hear things like that of wanting to be handled or, manhandled or wanting to be put in their place or saying, I've got something for you when you get home, I'm assuming that is sexual and that is like, I'm asking for intimacy with you, but that sounds like abusive language. But let's just continue reading. And so Danny goes on to say that, she had experienced a lot of trauma, and whereas she brought a lot of trauma to the relationship, I brought a lot of inexperience, making things feel difficult at times, but I felt at the time we were both just difficult people, so why not just work things out? She broke things off with me about 4 weeks ago, saying she wants to focus on therapy, which is amazing. That is amazing. And that maybe we were better as friends. And while it devastated me, it was something I accepted. The only caveat being that I will be her friend after I got over her, as I was very hurt and also jealous. 2 days later, she posted on her So anyways, it goes on to say, 2 days later, she posted on her TikTok, definitely some Gen Xers, or not X, I'm sorry, Z, Gen Z kids here. Although I know many people of all ages use TikTok, but 2 days later, she posted on her TikTok that she was essentially excited to give this guy a chance after saying she was done with relationships, which made me feel upset and that she lied to me so she could talk to another guy. But at any rate, she texted me a week later saying she was depressed and doing horrible, and talking to her, she said she and the guy she was friends with, even though she went to 2 parties with him, I still don't know what happened other than that she lost all of her friends over whatever happened. And the guy is going around saying CC was an easy lay. That's lame, but anywho. Part of me didn't care as we weren't together, so we became friends with the expectation of dating in the future. But when I was over at her house 2 weeks into our friendship, I asked to see her phone, as after I saw it, I wanted to ask her out. So was my plan. And oh man, Danny, sweet Danny, sweet Danny. Going through the phone, I have never had a situation with someone where I felt the need to go through their phone and the relationship worked. And I felt actually genuinely safe and comfortable in that relationship. And I don't know anyone who has been in a relationship where they have had that desire and they have gone through it and things have ultimately worked out for the better. Or not to say that never happens, but it's just trust. You know what I'm saying? It's trust, and trust is so fundamental. And when you don't have it, it is so hard. It is so hard. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying it is so hard to gain that back. Okay, so he goes on to say that in the past, as she was cheated on many times, she often looked at my phone and it never bothered me one bit. But before that breakup, I had never asked hers, as I trusted her. She refused, saying that she doesn't owe me that as we aren't dating. After going back and forth for maybe 10 minutes, I give her a choice, that she either lets me see her phone or I leave. Ultimatums aren't great either, by the way. Eventually, after her refusing, I left and she started blowing up my phone mad, and eventually saying that I can come back and see her phone. But my whole thing is that with that complete 180, she probably just needed time to delete stuff she didn't want me to see. You're probably right. You're probably right, Danny. I don't know. I'm not saying that that is 100% true. I'm just saying you're probably right. I ended up blocking her for the night, and about a week later of not talking, she joined my game on Xbox and we started talking. She was really mad I didn't believe her and that I blocked her without talking to her more about it. And I can't help but feel like, due to my inexperience, I did react too quickly by blocking her. I was curious to know your thoughts. I really loved this woman at one point, and it sounds like you still do, and there's nothing wrong with that. She wants to be romantic again, potentially, but I feel like I lost all trust in her and would rather just be friends or neutral as we go to the same type of places. Okay. Thanks for any thoughts or advice. You may share this or discuss this if you think it would help you in your mission to educate. This is what I feel, and this is what I actually shared with Danny, which is that you have to consider not just what happened, like you have to consider whether or not in moving forward, it seems like Danny is curious about whether or not he should move forward with Catherine because she's interested in being potentially in a relationship again. Just even going back to the communication thing, it feels very young, which it is, but also you have to establish strong boundaries when it comes to communication. And it actually seems like Danny is trying to do that, and that's amazing. Boundaries are everything. But I feel that Catherine still has a lot of healing that she has to do. And you know what's the crazy thing? The crazy thing is that you get into a relationship and you think that if you do all the healing beforehand that you're going to be fine. But here's the crazy thing about a relationship. A relationship, I firmly believe that like a really healthy and loving relationship, I don't think it always brings out the best in us. Like, I think it provides us with some of the best opportunities and experiences, but a really great relationship, like one where you are in love and where you are really invested in it, that can bring out parts of you that you didn't even know existed, or it can really emphasize and exacerbate your deepest wounds and deepest insecurities because you were being so deeply vulnerable with someone else. And so you honestly can never really be healed enough for a relationship, not for like a real, truly intimate relationship. But to me, it sounds like Catherine has a lot of healing that she still has to undergo. And it also sounds like they both just have some growing up that they need to do. Like, I'm not saying that at the age your feelings are not valid, your experiences are not real. They are, but there's just so much life and so much growth ahead of you, right? And just thinking of Danny here, because Danny is the one that asked for advice and shared their situation. I asked Danny to consider, where are you and Catherine at now? And in comparison to 6 months ago, what has actually changed that leads you to believe that you will have a different outcome than you originally had when it comes to your relationship? Like, has communication improved? Have there been signs of healing on both of your sides? Like, what has happened? It doesn't really seem like it from what he has shared, but I don't know. We don't know. We only got a tip of the iceberg, right? But like, what has changed? Because something has to change for the outcome to be different. And going back to that communication thing, which I don't like at all, because I hate Black women, especially younger. No, it doesn't matter. Black women in general. I hate us thinking that we have to be so poorly and roughly handled, and that is a demonstration or an example of the caliber of man that we have. Like, we I firmly believe that we should be treated like delicate items, and just like, I hate the thought of someone thinking that they need to be put in their place. And also that just shows a lot of immaturity, which is fair at 22 years old. But for Danny, is that even authentic to you? Do you want to be in a relationship with someone where you have to put them in their place? Like, is that something you are even interested in doing? And is it authentic to you, or do you have to kind of like put on a persona to do that? And also remember, Danny, that if you choose to do that, that is the expectation that is now set for how all of your conflicts will be resolved, and you having to behave in this manner. And I also feel like that doesn't really provide Catherine the opportunity to take accountability for her own emotions. And God forbid, I know so well the impact that trauma has on the body, on the mind. I recognize that pain it's just hard. And the experiences that she has had, I'm sure, has really done a number on her expectations for a relationship with a man. And at the same time, you experiencing pain does not permit you, does not excuse you from, or it does not give you permission to inflict pain upon others. So those are my personal opinions. But again, I want this to kind of be like an open advice column. And so I would love to hear from you all down below. What do you think? Like, what should Danny do if you were Danny? And not just if you were Danny, but if you've been in a similar situation before, please share your experience and share how you were able to move forward. And if you did decide to go back to the person that you were with, please, like, share, how did that work out? If things worked out well, how were you all able to overcome those obstacles? Like, what skills did you both have to learn to be more compatible and to communicate better? But you know, if things didn't work out, please share what happened. Like, again, I ask that we share and that we try to create a safe space. And again, please be kind, because these are such young people. These are such young people with so much life ahead of them. And so thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you enjoyed. And yeah, if you like this kind of video, please let me know, because I will make more of these. I enjoy this, but if you are not really into it, let me know, because I'll do something different. This is really about you all and curating content for you all. And thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you enjoyed. And until next time, stay safe, be well, and I'll see you all soon. Bye, everyone.